This is a television show where we will visit parks, waterways, and yes, people's backyards to show how easy it is to learn, work, and live in harmony with the fairies and their world. Welcome to Backyard Faerie. Welcome to your first episode of Backyard Fairies. I am your host, AWillowsDream. Today, we'll be taking a look at the Allen's backyard.
And you are listening to Faerie Radio, streaming live on the web at faerieradio.com. Willow, what are you doing with those shiny things?
Well, John, I'm glad you asked. Today, I was coming out to the yard to give these shiny smashed marbles to my fairy friends. Here is a special area where I like to meet with the fairies. We have worked it out between us because we both agree that this is a good energy and a good mixture of vibrations for me and for them. Fairies, much like children and, well, many of us, are attracted to things that are shiny. And so I bring them here today and other days, as you can see with some older, little dustier marbles, that I bring things out here to honor and respect the fairies and to attract them here. Sometimes I like to come and talk with them or meditate or even ask them questions and even petition for things that I would like. Something else that is attractive to the fairies is the things that you are listening to right now at Faerie Radio. But the more you listen to this station, the more you will hear that fairies are attracted to the whimsical, Celtic types of styles. That is what you will often hear. Because they like to dance, they like to move, they like the higher energy and to raise the vibration, much like children do today.
Where do fairies be at in the yard?
Well, John, there are similar fairies over this way. If you look over in this direction, I have noticed that these mushrooms are growing in my yard. Soon, they will have to be mowed over because we do have to mow our yard. But you can see that it is a perfect place for fairies to make their home. It is safe underneath from rain, and they are of a particularly fun shape and texture. Now, how is it that you know that the fairies are here? Something else you can do is sort of touch in with the fairies. And you can do this, as I mentioned before, in things like meditation. Or take a deep breath in and let it all out. And you can better feel the nature and the lovely sounds around you, especially if you have the music that I have going right now.
How do you know what a fairy looks like, Willow?
Well, not everyone can necessarily see the fairies, but we can all use our imagination. The fairies can often show themselves to us, but something we think we see only with our physical eye, but we also see with our mind. If I say the word apple right now, is the apple in your mind red? Is it green? Is it yellow? Does it have a bite out of it? Well, as you can see, your imagination works. And you may not be seeing an apple in front of you, but you're seeing it in your mind. So, we can relax and see, are there fairies here? Do I see anything in my mind? Am I imagining anything? And something else I can tell you is that each fairy looks different. Sometimes to each people, one that looks like something particular to me may not appear the same to John. It just depends on how our mind and our imagination works when touching in with their mind and their imagination. And if we touched in with the fairies over there and tried to take a look at them, we would see that even they look different from the fairies that may be inhabiting these mushrooms. So let's take a look today. Are there any fairies underneath these mushrooms? Well, if I thought there was a fairy underneath these mushrooms, I would begin, of course, first with the mushroom shape. And now you can begin any way you like. But I like to imagine that fairies are often happy little creatures, and that if they lived in this home, Even the mushroom itself can be inherited by the energy of Faerie.